everyone. Let's just check that it's gone live. You never can tell. Let's see. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Ooh. I'm hoping someone will be there. I am live, yes! That's what we want. That's what we want. Okay, so hopefully you will be joining me soon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Liz. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the UK, working across the UK and Europe. It's what I do all day. I am so lucky that I can do this all day. It's kind of my retirement project. I would be crafting all day anyway, so by doing this, it just means that I can spend a bit more on my crafting projects. Let's see who's joined. Brenton is there. Hello, Brenton. And Kylie. Hello, Kylie. Hello, Anne. I haven't spoken with Kylie for a long time. How is everyone? So, South Oxfordshire today started sunny. Then it rained, and now it's a kind of overcast day. So, yeah, it's a bit of a day, really. Today I am going to be sharing the card kits that I'm sending to my February customers. They should have gone by now, but my parcel with all the gifts in is still in Germany. It did a little tour of Germany and then went back to the warehouse, and apparently has left the warehouse for the second time. Hello, Inika. Hello, Nora. So, yes, who knows? Fingers crossed. I'm waiting for a date, an estimated delivery date, but I don't know. So, right, just checking. I'm going to have to see if I can find a pair of glasses that means I can craft and read the comments at the same time. Hello, Jan, from a sunny weekly. It's not sunny here, and you're only just the other side of a hill, but maybe that's what makes the difference. Anyway, I've still got my coffee from earlier today, because it's been one of those days. I literally just had a phone call from my hairdresser who decided they wanted to move my appointment. Always fun. So I am going to pop that light up. I am going to pop the camera down. There we go. Hello, Jennifer. So, fingers crossed, for those of you who weren't on my Thursday live, I had a bit of a troll issue, including myself, apparently, trolling my own channel. So I'm hoping today we won't have that. Who knows? Anyway. So this is the first card that I'm going to show you how to make, and this is going to go out as a kit to my February customers. Anyone who orders from me and uses my host code automatically gets a thank you card, a little handmade gift or gift wrapped thing, and 2 card kits, however large or small your order. And then if it's a qualifying order and you use the host code, you also get a free product gift from me. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Helen. Hello, Audrey. You've had snow. Wow. Hello, Mary, also from the Netherlands. So this is the first card I'm going to show you how to make. It uses some of the new gilded, beautifully gilded, naturally gilded, online exclusive paper. Let me show you this paper. You get 6 sheets, 2 each of 3 designs. So I've used this sheet, and I'm being very stingy with it. It's only 1.5 inches by 6 that I'm giving people. Hello, Karen. US changed time, so you were confused. In North Hampshire, you're having major storm and ooh, that's awful. Sorry about that. You got your creativity in a box. Good, Jan. Extra, and the extra farm paper, yes, because I know you like that farm paper. So this is the one that I'm using today. Then we've also got this one, which is silver. So the first one was copper, this one's silver. And then this one is vanilla and gold and is beautiful. and it's so beautiful I didn't want to use it. Sorry. You know, that's just life. So yes, and I paired it with the beautiful thistle, which is a lovely, lovely stamp set with matching dies. It is just beautiful. I've used this image on a card recently, just with the watercolour shapes, using Highland Heather, and stamped this in basic grey, and it was beautiful. Really simple. Hello, Pam. So our clocks change on the last Sunday of the month, and also in Europe, I believe they change on the last Sunday of the month. So what comes in the kit that I have sent, that I'll be sending out, is this, which is, let me see if I can get the light to hit it. I don't think I can. Anyway, it's one of the new Basics 3D embossing folders, which is one of the online exclusives as well. It is very shiny, Audrey. Hello, Wendy. Hope life with you is okay in Wales. I know you did get a lot of snow after I said, no, we're not going to get a lot of snow. It's not going to cause any travel issues. Wales got lots of snow. So we've got the embossed piece, the bottom of the thistle leaf, thistle flower in soft succulent, retiring in not very much time, just saying. Things are beginning to sell. Because there's a colour refresh, the Europe inventory levels are looking very, very dodgy. So if you want any colour product, be it card, ink refill, blends, anything, please get it now, because they are going to sell out. And when they're gone, if it is a retiring colour, they're not going to bring new stock in, particularly to Europe. So this is Evening Evergreen, that's the stalk, and then this is Fresh Freesia. It's almost like I'm using retiring ink colours, because I am. I've also got this piece of copper foil, which I have die cut with the penned flowers dies. So I just wanted that scallop edge. So it's this. So you've got all these lovely dies, but I've just picked out the scalloped edge, not least of all because it's got a nice line to line things up against. There's also a piece of just basic white, and that, I'm being very mean, tiny strip of the gilded paper. So there will also be a piece of linen thread in the kit. So all we have to do is stick all this together. Let me clear the decks a bit, and you'll also get obviously the card base. So, hello Pam from Australia. Oh, you were okay, were you, Wendy? Good. Yeah, near the coast. 26th of March. Audrey. Is that the date for the colour refresh is the 29th of March? Or the date will be, the colour refresh will be announced on the 29th of March. So, but we won't be able to order, so that's also when the, it would be nice if I had a brain this morning. That's also the day that we will get the retiring list, but the discounts won't apply until, I want to say, the 4th of April. And we've been warned that if you put an item in your shopping cart, hoping that you can then just press order on the 4th of April, if you put it in before the 4th of April, you will be charged the full price. So just bear that in mind. Time change. Ah, right. Thank you, Audrey. Yes, the last Sunday of March. It took me until I was in my 30s, here's an admission, to realise that our clocks change on the last Sunday of March and the last Sunday of October. I mean, come on. How difficult is that? So I put some seal down that spare bit of copper foil, and then I'm just going to take this and apparently twizzle my die cut piece a number of times. And then I'm going to line this up so that it's lining up. Don't know if you're going to be able to see. There's the dots, and then there's this line where the edge of the die goes, and that's kind of where I'm lining up my piece of paper. Now I did this on a reel yesterday, so this is going to be the long version. Hello, Annette. Sorry, I realised that there were more comments coming in and couldn't see who they were from. Right, so this I'm going to add to my embossed piece, and I'm going to use liquid adhesive so that I've got slippage. It will stick quite nicely. It's longer, and the idea is that I will be able to line it up and then trim it down. So I'm going to line it up so that the scallop lines up at the top of my piece of card, because then the scallop here will line up with the bottom of my piece of card. And this is for those of you in international A4 land. This is 5 5/8 long, and you get that nice scallop. And I get covered in glue. Right, sticky scissors. So I'm just coming in from behind and lining up the right hand, the inside of the right hand blade against that embossed piece, and use that as my guide, and then it gives me a nice straight cut. And then I'll just trim down the little bit at the other end as well. Like that. And we've got two nice complete scallops, top and bottom. And I have got glue everywhere now. However, that's fine. So next I'm going to pop this down, but first I'm going to add a linen thread bow, and the kits that I send out have all the pieces that are needed to complete the project. It's my beginning of the month, well, back end of the month and beginning of the month fun time, die cutting everything. Obviously, because I wasn't well last month, that didn't happen quite as I had planned, and then we've had the delay in the shipping coming out of Germany. We still haven't got to the bottom of why there was a delay. All we know is there was one. So we don't know whether it was a stamping up. Tying a bow, it's not difficult. We don't know if it was a stamping up labelling issue. We just have no idea. But one of my parcels went all the way back to the warehouse, having gone to Frankfurt, Cologne, back to Frankfurt, and then back to the warehouse. It's now got a new shipping number and is back in Frankfurt, and the other one just spent a long time in Frankfurt and is now within 5 miles of where I live. Right, so just tying a little bow with linen thread. Hello Sherry, hello Laurie, how are you? So I'm just going to pop this down with some liquid adhesive. And I like to make sure that the bits that are likely to catch, so the points, are where I concentrate the glue. So I make a point of putting glue on the points. That's poor English. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Did anyone read my newsletter? If you're on my newsletter, did you read my I Am a Pedant newsletter? I know Leslie did, although I don't think Leslie's here yet, because she's replied to it saying that she is also all about the language. So it was to do with, it was announcing the kaleidoscope, the colourful kaleidoscope kit, but colourful is spelt C-O-L-O-R, full. And I have a big issue with that, because it's the wrong spelling. If you're in the UK anyway, it is definitely a bad spelling. So yes, What I was concerned about was if I called it the colourful with a U in it. I'm just putting a dimensional at the top of my thistle flower. If I put a U in it, was it going to appear if you did a search in my online store? Happily, the answer is it does. So I am telling you about the correctly spelt colourful, the Kaleidoscope Colourful Card Kit, or the Colourful Kaleidoscope Card Kit, whichever it is. So my thistle base is going on my thistle flower. Right, now, when was the Wandering order placed? Well, mine was placed on the 28th, Wendy, so it could be that yours is caught up in it. Have you had a shipping order? You'd need to contact DS and ask them. Annette referenced the delay in shipping. Your order history informed me that UPS were waiting for extra paperwork. Yeah, that. But apparently that's not actually the case, Annette. Your order normally arrives within 5 days after ordering, sometimes 3. Ours quite often will arrive within 5 days, Inika, but not when there's this problem. I have asked for confirmation of exactly what the problem was. Was it a UPS issue? Was it a Stampin' Up issue, or what? So, yeah. So I put some glue as well, and I'm just going to pop my flower onto the top of my card. So Sherry says it's the wrong spelling as well. Yes. Colourful, says Pam. Yes. Jennifer also has a problem with spelling and grammar. Yeah, my bugbears as well, Audrey. When I was working, well, pretty much in every job that I had, I ended up doing proofreading. So this is just a half sheet of A4 card, scored in the middle. Because I am a pedant, I ended up as one of the proofreaders. I mean, it wasn't officially part of my job, but I ended up proofreading lots of documents, to the extent that now if I look at a page and there's something not right, it will jump off the page. It might as well be highlighted and in red. It will just jump off the page at me, and it really bugs me. Sorry. And my husband very kindly bought me a new mini laptop for Christmas, and it's taken me a while to work out why it was using American spelling when I was asking it to use British spelling. I have now got that sorted out, but everything was being underlined when I'd spelt it correctly. And it was correct. Right, so that's the basic card. Now, obviously I won't be including a stamped sentiment, but any sentiment will do. I'm going to use Your Strength Inspires Me, because I think it's just a nice sentiment to put with a thistle, because they are fairly tough. The story goes, and Audrey, you may be able to confirm this, the story goes that the reason the thistle is the flower of Scotland is because when invaders would come, let's hope this is straight, when invaders would come, particularly Vikings, who apparently would not wear shoes, so maybe this isn't right. Maybe it was the Romans. Anyway, they walked over thistles and they hurt, so they screamed, so they warned the Scots that they were coming. I don't know if that's, true. But that's the story I was told anyway. I find that there are truly not the same language. Well, Sherry says it's, after all, the English language, no offence to the Americans. Well, yes, Inika, British English and American English are drifting apart. Wendy, it is annoying, but if you phone DS, they'll sort it out for you. And yes, I got the thank you for your patience, even in reply to an email where I said I have no patience left. Anyway, so I'm going to snip this off. Who was it? Was it Oscar Wilde who said 2 nations separated by a common language? I can't remember. It's the sort of thing he might have said. So I'm just going to pop some dimensionals on the back here, and I want it to kind of line up with the end of the sentiment, so I can see through. So not very well spaced, but there you go. Yeah, Karen, you have your own spelling for all sorts of things. Very tough for foreigners to keep them apart, yes. Yeah, Audrey was also a proofreader. What was the stamp set that said to a friend that makes me smile? I can't remember, Wendy. Hello, Judith. Audrey can neither confirm or deny the thistle story. Right, so I'm going to have this coming kind of there-ish. So it helps bring everything together. It was Oscar, thank you. Laurie never gets offended because, Laurie, you are American, aren't you? Although you live in the UK, I believe you are American. So there we go. That is the first card. And you can see the one that I made earlier. I've done all the die cutting. All the little bits are in different bins. And I don't mean waste bin, I mean container. So that's that. Let me pop that back and then we can do the second card. Now, the thing with card kits that I send out is they're always fairly simple. Because I can't send stamped images, they kind of have to. I find it quite a good process to go through to do a really a nice card, but that doesn't use a big stamped image as a feature. So this is the card that we will be making. Not everyone will get the same papers as this, and they won't get the same flowers. But the flower punch, so this is Regency Park, which I've stupidly put away. This is Regency Park, and the punch will line up to a couple of the patterns. You do have to do some cutting to get it to actually line up, but trust me that these three will punch out of the paper. Now obviously in the stamp set they will, or this one will anyway. So the punch works for the leaf as well, a single leaf. So if you've got the punch, that's what those extra leaves are for, or extra flowers are for. Right, so all I've got here is a card base, 3 inches of paper, because I know the 6x6 paper sometimes is a challenge because it feels like there's a lot of waste if you're making a full card front. But if you cut it at 3 inches, you get quite a lot of coverage, but you get 2 cards out of each sheet of paper. Hello, Effie. It's 7:30 in the morning with you. Wow. Laurie says, yes, she's American and she loves the weather. Just as well, because it's pretty much all we talk about. Right, so I'm going to fold my card in half and burnish. This I need to cut down. So let's grab my trimmer and I'm just going to cut a bit off. And this isn't necessarily going to be the same height as the previous version. So I'm going to do this at, let's do it at 3 3/4. I can't remember what I cut the original at, but let's cut it at 3 3/4. So I have 2 pieces of paper and I'm going to use the front of one and the back of the other. So let me grab my seal. So I'm going to put seal up on the top and 2 sides. And then I'm going to use my grid paper to find the middle of the card. So I'm going to line up on my grid paper and then I can use the paper to judge where the middle is. So I've got kind of 2 full squares either side, and then I want the middle of the 3rd square. It doesn't have to be exact, but that's how I would do it. And then this piece I'm just going to add on. It will overlap and that's fine, because we're then going to cover the join with our sentiment strip. So this, I'm going to do kind of the reverse and line up. And if I line up with the bottom and this edge, then it should match everywhere. There we are. And there's just that little tiny bit of an overlap. Strip of basic white again, and this time I'm going to use the Let's Celebrate from Sentimental Park. So we've got thanks, thinking of, let's celebrate, and dear friend, and you've got your new adventure, for, just for, best wishes, your new birthday, your anniversary, your graduation, you are amazing, happy birthday and love, as well as all the wonderful things you do. So you can make lots and lots and lots of sentiments out of that set. For this, I'm going to use a Night of Navy. So just ink that up. Now obviously this is photopolymer, so it should be easier for me to stamp straight. But you never know, it's me. And for those of you who wonder why I put my sentiments on my blocks crooked, I find that way I actually look at the stamp rather than the block, and that means I'm more likely to line the stamp up straight rather than being confused by the straight lines of the block. Right, so this I'm going to pop across the middle, and I'm just going to stick it down pretty much as is. I'm going to pop my adhesive onto my card front, because then I won't get sticky fingers. And again, I'm going to line up on my grid paper. I do love grid paper. And I don't want it absolutely ping in the middle, because I find ping in the middle slightly off-putting. So it's to one side. The previous version I put to this side, doesn't matter which. Then trim the inside. And these are my flowers, which are punched out from one pattern of paper. Now for this one, I popped a couple of them up on dimensionals. This time I'm not going to, because then when you add the embellishment, it becomes an expensive card to send. Margaret, thank you. So Wendy, it's the Forever Fern stamp set. Margaret is a hero when it comes to that. And most likely other things as well. So that's going to go down there. Then I'm going to tuck the little flower in behind. I'm just giving them a little bit of shaping so they're not absolutely flat. So that then goes there. And then this one, I'll pop over the other side. I was, because you know me, I love a bit of fussy cutting, I was going to just include a piece of paper and say, and you can fussy cut, and then I realised that the paper lined up with the punch, so I didn't. Right, and in honour of Kylie being here, let's stamp the inside of our card, because shouldn't have a blank inside. Right, I'm going to grab the outline stamp and the solid and a couple of blocks. Actually, could probably use a C block. There we go. Don't need that one. So I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to go Balmy Blue. So I'll do outline in Night of Navy and the inside in Balmy Blue. So on the basis that I always do the dark first, I'll start with Night of Navy, and I'm not going to stamp the whole image, I'm just going to pop it in a corner. So we'll pop it down here, so it's going off the edge of the card. And of course I'm going to have to do the same thing on the thistle card, as in stamp something on the inside. Hello, Shaz! My moderator is in the house. Not that, fingers crossed, we need it today. Thursday was just weird when it came to trolls. See how solid that is. Yeah. Or, no, I'll go full strength. How's life, Shaz? And there we are, everything beautifully matched up. So, grab my seal and just add some adhesive. So for those of you who are customers who will get this, you will get all of those pieces, obviously without the stamping. And you will also get some Milky Dots. Crazy day. It was a crazy day, Shaz. Slightly unfortunately, I had an email, oh, the email wasn't unfortunate. Milky Dots. I had an email from a demo in the US who said that my alter ego was leaving inappropriate comments on other people's lives. I have no idea what's going on. I've reported it to YouTube, but if it just says Liz Yuille on any comment, it's not me, because I use the whole of Liz Yuille Old Stables Crafts. So yeah, in my defence, it wasn't me. And I have done everything I can to report it, but I think it's just going to be a question of time now. So that is the finished card, complete with Milky Dots. I will be putting this on my website because it is the monthly card kit, so obviously my customers will need the instructions. And on my beautiful thistle card, I'm going to add this piece of what I would call frou-frou. So, and that's going to be in Fresh Freesia. Another retiring colour. So, let's see what that looks like. Okay, so I don't need to stamp it off, I just need to stamp it. Which I'm going to go long and thin, I think. So just a little piece of frou-frou. And that, my friends, is everything I have to show you today. So it's a short live. Thank you, Jan. So was that on, hang on, was that on Facebook? So are they on Facebook as well? But yes, my Facebook page is fine. I've changed all my passwords for these things, and I didn't have a problem changing the password, which would tend to suggest that they are fake accounts, not hacked accounts. I've had some people say they think my account's been hacked. It hasn't. Because if someone hacks your account, almost the first thing they do is change the password. And when I changed the password, I made all other devices were forced to log off. I went for that option. So on Facebook. Was that last week, Jan? Because I ought to put a post up to say, if you get a Facebook request from me, it's not me. Thank you, Sherry. I'm glad you like the cards. And as I say, my lovely customers will be getting... Why would the thistle one be your favourite, Audrey? Sadly, Ineke, you are no longer my customer, but you are a very, 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 very welcome and special team member. Because I love my team members. I love my customers, but I love my team members. Because they're making the most of the deal, getting things discounted, which kind of just makes sense, doesn't it? If you get the option of buying a discounted set of products and then get a discount for all the rest of your orders for at least for at least 2 quarters, why wouldn't you do that? Yeah. It was Thursday. Oh, so it was the same day. Okay. Thank you, Karen. So yes, these are the 2 cards that my customers will be getting, or the card kits that my customers will be getting. I really liked using this paper just as a slither. It's a very bold paper, and I think it's almost too much. I've seen some lovely, lovely projects where people have used it and they've coloured it with blending brushes, and they put silhouette dies, so in black, over the top, which again, it kills the amount of foil a bit, which in a way is good because it is very, very bold. So it is something that personally I think less is more, but that's just me. Pam likes the thistle as well. Nora likes them. Pam likes both of them, but thistle is her favourite. Let me just flip the camera back up. There we go. Because then I can say goodbye properly. So yes, a slightly quick... oh, thank you, other Pam. And I'm only saying other Pam because there's 2 of you. So Pam as opposed to Pamela, thank you. As I say, just some quick card ideas to send out to my customers. The thistle set's on your next order, is it, Pam? Okay, excellent. I love the thistle. The family are originally Scots, so why wouldn't I love the thistle? Obviously, Audrey loves the thistle because she's in Scotland. So thank you very much indeed. If you are in Europe and you would like to shop with me and try out my customer service, that would be amazing. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed the video, a thumbs up is always appreciated. And of course, you can share it if you wish as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can do that in the bottom right-hand corner. If you hit the alert bell, you may, depending on how well YouTube is working on any given day, you may get an alert to let you know when I go live as well. So the next time I will be live is 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. It is coming up to 20 to 12 noon at the moment, so that gives you an idea of when it is. Thank you, Brenton. Pam's maiden name was Macmillan. Well, there we are. So my maiden name was Yuille, but I am married, but I've kept my maiden name. Anyway, I digress. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Bye for now.